welcome into episode 36 of Rhymer on the Road. Ann and Scott, and this is our halftime show, our halftime report, as we are still in South Carolina, but very soon we will be wheels up to California.
Right.
I'm going to explain a little bit about what episode 36 is all about, but before we do that, it's time to announce when we get back to California where we're going to be next, and that is...
We are heading to Santa Cruz, California.
All right, we're beginning to move south down below San Francisco on our way to Southern California. So if you've got some thoughts on what we should do in this area, you can go to Rhymer on the Road on Instagram and of course make the comments there. You can comment right here on the video here at YouTube or on Facebook or however it is that you reach out to us, or you have been reaching out to us. So I thought what we would do in episode 36 is do a very quick recap of all the places that we've been and when we were there and what days during the trip we were there. That'll make sense as you watch the video. And then when we come back from that, I've got a couple questions for you from our halftime report. So here we go, a recap of the first half of the trip. It's episode 36, Rhymer on the Road. Roll the tape.
I can't do nothing with you.
Okay, so there you go. That's a quick recap of where we've been. And of course, we will unveil where we're going ahead of each episode. You have to kind of stay with us as we go through the episodes. And mention we're headed to Santa Cruz. But beyond that, we're not going to tell you. We're going to let you follow along with us on that. So a couple of things you've noticed from our first half of the trip, we really stayed north of the United States, in the
Right.
northern areas of the United States. And of course, we said in episode 1, we're just trying to avoid winter. My question to you is, while we could have maybe tweaked some dates here, tweaked some lengths of stay in each place, for the most part, I think for the first half of the trip, we did a pretty good job of being on schedule for the things that we wanted to see.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we were, as we talked about, I think in that episode when we were in Glacier, I mean, we were at the tail end of that one. I think, getting there a week or two earlier than that would have been good. But really, I think we hit most of the other things. Well, Mount Rainier, we did kind of miss Mount Rainier. Same thing, kind of right at the tip of the season. So if we'd been up by a week or two on either one of those, I think it would have been perfect. But no, I mean, the locations that we've gone, the amount of time we've stayed, sure, there have been some days or stays that we could have shortened. Yes, for sure. But it was nice having those down days where we didn't go out and do anything, and we needed those. So no, there's not much that I would change.
I wouldn't change much either. In terms of timing, if you were going to do a year-long trip like and you're trying to kind of replicate what we're doing, and I know some people who follow us are looking into that, if you could leave and get to the Shenandoah Valley area and leave from there about 4 weeks earlier, 3 to 4 weeks earlier than we did, you could follow the exact path we did, the exact number of days, and you would avoid, because we even cut it close in Rocky Mountain National Park, but Rocky Mountain and then Glacier, and then even up to North Cascades. We were kind of right at that edge where we got lucky.
Rocky Mountain, though, it actually ended up working out for us. We were there at the peak of fall, which is actually really popular during the elk rut and all that stuff. So actually, I don't know that we were really off on that one. Yes, we did see some snow there, but it gave us opportunities for other stuff that we wouldn't have seen if we had been at a different time.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Also, in terms of the number of days you stay at each place, that also is really up to what you want to do. And a good example of that is we didn't need as long as we needed at Indiana Dunes National Park.
Right.
However, we took a day trip down into South Bend, which was fun, and we decided not to go into Chicago. Whereas if you're going to stay somewhere near Indiana Dunes, you could take a day or two and go into Chicago, and that trip would have been the right amount of days. We just had already been into Chicago, so that's an example of how, depending on your preferences and what you want to do, you could even make some of the stays fit to your travel itinerary. All right, so the questions that we're getting while we've been back, other than the scope of what we've done, is what has been your favorite place? If you can't do what we're doing, and that is travel the entire year, and you've got a week, maybe 10 days, and you're taking a family vacation, yours would be, based on our first half of the trip, what?
I mean, probably the most bang for your buck is Yellowstone and Grand Teton, because they're both right there together. Jackson, there's West Yellowstone, that was a cute town. There's other towns that are around there that we didn't go to. There's just so much to do, and you can fly out in one part, fly out of another, or you can make it a round trip. I just think that one has the most bang for your buck. So Yellowstone, Grand Tetons combined, I think you just can't go wrong.
It's hard to not say that as your number one answer because of not just what you're seeing, but the diversity of what you see. I knew you were going to pick that one, so I chose one that I thought was a 1A to that. And that was Rapid City, South Dakota area. And people go, Rapid City, what is that? Well, that's a great base point for Badlands National Park, Wind Cave National Park. You've got
Custer State Park.
You've got Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse. And oh, by the way, you've got 2 really great scenic drives that kind of wind themselves through all of that. You could spend 7 days in one base location and really get a lot of bang for your buck in South Dakota.
Absolutely. Or even if you wanted to do it and you had 2 nights or something like that, and kind of veer to where you're not doing as much driving in between. No, that's another good one. And actually that surprised me.
Well, speaking of surprises, that was going to be my final question for you too. What was your biggest surprise, either because you had no knowledge of it or you're very ignorant of the area, or you had some, but it still just exceeded what you were expecting?
Right. Well, of course, like I said, Rapid City did surprise me, but I did have an inkling on that one because we had watched some YouTubes ahead of time, and I remember telling you that actually looks like a cool area. So I had a little inkling on that one. So I'd say the one that probably surprised me the most was Olympic National Park. And it was beautiful and diverse. The rainforest, the rocky, sandy beaches that were there. And I think we hit it at a good time because even though it was their rainy season, it wasn't overly crowded. And I've heard it can get crowded. So I don't even know when that is. I'm sure during the summer. Yeah. And so I really like that one. And you can kind of rope that one in with a trip to Seattle, you know, flying to Seattle, stay a couple days in Seattle, and then go off to Olympic National Park. That's another great one.
And it was also kind of neat when we went into Olympic because that was the first time we got to the West Coast, into the Pacific Ocean, which is always kind of neat when you're doing a trip. Yeah. Mine is one that we talked about in the episode earlier, and that is Michigan. We really weren't even going to go there. The original trip design did not even have us going into Michigan. We kind of got talked into it by our sister, my sister and brother-in-law in Mackinac because they had been to Mackinac. Yeah. And then when we started talking to people about Michigan, we mentioned in the episode, Eric Williams mentioned, well, why don't you try Traverse City and Sleeping Bear Dunes? And all of a sudden it turned into this trip where we weren't going to be in Michigan at all. And all of a sudden we saw the Sleeping Bear Dunes eclipsed Indiana Dune State Park, and the Traverse City was a great town. Yeah. Of course, Mackinac was awesome by itself, but then the day we went up into the Upper Peninsula, that was fun too.
And there was a lot up there that we didn't get to do. I think it's Painted Rocks, maybe.
Yes.
That's super popular, and we just didn't have enough time to do it, and so I could, see us going back to Michigan for sure. Yeah,
I didn't have Michigan on my bingo card when we started this trip, thinking that I would be pleasantly surprised, but I certainly was with that. All right, there you go, episode 36. When we see you next, we hope to have Leo. We hope to have the Beast.
Yes.
We hope to have Allie, who's been refurbished. We were trying to get Oreo the cat on here. And
she just ran away from me.
No, we'll put some B-roll on there to see Oreo the cat from here at our home in South Carolina. We'll have all that, and we'll be in Santa Cruz, California, as we begin the second half of the trip. And I appreciate you following along with us. Hope you enjoyed the first half. Hope you enjoyed this halftime report, and now it's time to wheels up. Happy New Year, everybody, if you're following us chronologically, and don't forget, do it today. Oh, do we have a little Oreo sighting?
I got Oreo. Say hey, Oreo. Hey. He's being taken care of very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oreo would not have done well on the trip. Leo's done great. Yeah. Oreo would not. But
she likes to dart outside too much. She would be gone. She would have gotten out of Allie, and we would have never seen her again.